So guys, if you're experiencing trouble finding your solenoid, this is my suggestion. So this is the fan over here. This is the clutch, right? This is the belt. You see this line? This is the air line. Just follow that air line. I'm following it right here. It goes on the top of the engine, and it goes all the way here. And this is your solenoid right here. See the black channel? This is your air line, right? So on this side, you have a power plug. Just unplug it. It's easy. It's very easy. So over here you have this, the green. Sorry. So the green hose is your supply air. It should be under the pressure all the time. I'm trying to think how to explain you how the whole cooling system work together with the the solenoid valve, this piece, which is plays a huge role in the supplying the air or letting the air go through. There is a ECM, there is a plug harness, there is a air supply, there's air line, there's your fan, and fan connect to the engine. So let's talk about the basics. The engine itself powered by the fan itself powered by the engine force. So you might notice the belt which connects the engine part with the fan. It constantly spinning. It constantly spinning as your engine on. You will see the belt running, right? So but your fan doesn't spin all the time. It spins only in a certain conditions. There is a clutch which controls when to spin. When your clutch is engaged, it connects to the engine through the belt, and your fan will start spinning right away. When the clutch disconnects, when it disengages, the belt will keep spinning, running, but your fan will stop. This is the very basic how it works. The clutch itself is controlled by airflow. When you have air inside the hose, inside the line, it will disconnect. And opposite, when there is no air inside, it will engage. The clutch will engage and fan will start spinning. So who controls the air to be inside this hose? There is a valve. The valve is basically work as if you know how automotive relay work. There is a coil inside. When you connect to the power, when you switch it on, the parts inside, what they do, they will let the air go through, right? This is the green is supply, and the black side is the exhaust. So it just works like a normal relay. And there is on the bottom there is a drain to drain the air. So this is the air valve actually, the solenoid, it's called solenoid. This is the part number, guys, and it says normally closed 12 volts. So the next, who control the solenoid? Who is telling solenoid when to close and when to open, when to work or when not to work? There is a plug. You will see the plug right here. So the plug is connected to ECM. ECM is your engine control module. So whenever the temperature of your engine hits certain point, let's say 220 degrees, right? Your temperature sensor will send a signal to ECM. Hey, it's very hot here. We need to do something. So what ECM does, it will disconnect the power. It will disconnect the power. It will drop it from 12 volts to 0, or to, as I tested it, it drops it to 2.5 volts, which is not enough to solenoid to work properly. And when the voltage drops, what happens? It disconnects the air. It disconnects here, and since there is no air in this line anymore, it will engage the clutch and your fan will start spinning. And opposite, when the temperature sensor say, okay, we are 200 degrees right now, we are good, it will connect, ECM will send a constant 12 volts to the plug. It will turn on, it will switch on the solenoid, and solenoid will start supplying this air line with the air, and air pressure leads to the build-up air pressure will force to disconnect, to disengage the clutch, and your fan will stop spinning. This is a very basic, guys. So by default, if something happened with your airline, right? If something wrong with your solenoid, if something wrong with your airlines here, you have leak here, if you don't have any power, if your harness is broken, if something wrong with it, all these reasons will lead fan to start working, because if there is no air supply, if there is no air inside this line anymore, it will start spinning. This made it for purpose, so if any issues occur while you drive, your fan will stay cool. You know, it will prevent your engine from overheating. As I wrote here, by default, it drains the all air build up inside here, and fan will spin all the time. If you drive 7 hours, 8 hours, don't matter, it will, keep spinning. It's not too bad for fan. It just made it this way, as I said, but you will just have more less performance, less miles per gallon to drive, because it will, it uses a lot of energy to keep spinning, because there is a lot of resistance here. But that's just so you will have less miles to drive per gallon if your fan is always on. So this is your solenoid. The green side is the air supply. You connect this to the green line. The black is your exhaust. It goes directly to your fan. Drain underneath, and here's a plug. So one of the way, guys, to check if your solenoid is in good shape, you see this terminal, for the ground and power. Don't worry, it is a plus 12 volt. It's not 5 volt, so you can check it with your car battery, truck battery. So all you need to do, it's just hard to. So first you need to connect the ground to one side. That's what I'm trying to do. It's not easy. The second thing is for the plus. So you send the plus 12 volts. All right. So whenever you send it, you heard the click, right? If when you send the 12 volts here, when it vibrates and inside you hear the click, that means your the coil is working and your solenoid is in good condition. Another way to check if you don't have this kind of power probe and you can send 12 volts directly, another thing you can do is use multimeter. So first you need to set it to resistance, just like that. If not familiar, let's say it's 2K, right? You look for this sign of the resistance. This is 2K ohms. So we try to, if the coil inside is not broken, the electricity will go through, and since the electricity go through, it will show some kind of resistance. But if the coil is broken, if the contacts inside broken, when it sends the electricity through, the resistance will be absolute, like no connection at all. So this is what we do. Not it. So just look at the. So right now it says overload, right? So when contacts, I hope you know. I hope you understand how the resistance works. So right now between this and that, no resistance at all. See, that electricity go through. But let's say there is a isolation, resistance, like absolute isolation. You will say overload, like electricity from this side can go through this side, and the multimeter thinks it is a big, huge resistance. It's a lot. It's overloaded. So this is how you can. So I'm trying to check. So every time I tap, you will see it. You will see it over here. So right now it shows overload. Just a little hard to hold the phone and show you guys. I don't know if you see the changes. So it's 36. Something changing over there. Whenever I touch the contacts, it shows 36. 36 means is so 036 means 360 ohms. So this is a normal condition. Okay, this is how you check. First, you can check the resistance, and if it shows 360 ohms, then your solenoid is in good condition. Another a little rough way, where if you have since all of us have a car battery, but not all of us have a multimeter, you can send the 12 volts. See, it's safe. 12 volts directly here, ground to the left side. That's how I did. I don't know, it might work either way. It may work opposite, but you know, I'm just showing you how I did it. I sent ground to the left side and plus to the right side, and I heard the click, the certain click inside, and this is a sign that your solenoid is in good condition, right? Okay, some of you guys will say, oh, it's hard to remove it. This is what you use. This is what you use, guys. You press it on both sides, right? Just like this, and at the same time you pull the hose. Same thing here. You press with the wrist, right? You press it down here and pull it. That's very easy, guys. Very easy. Guys, once I turn the ignition on, I'm just showing you. This relay, this solenoid starts working, and it's let the air go from here to here. See? This is how it works, guys. Anytime I turn the ignition on, it will force the solenoid to let air go through. See? It happens all the time. This is how it's supposed to work.